Hello, everyone. So, everything is a decision, right? We either choose for one thing or against one thing, but we choose. And this decision will always be based on what state of being we are abiding in, and essentially how we understand ourselves to be, or what we understand ourselves to be, and our connection with existence itself. So, now you would say, nah, I wouldn't really choose for something that is not beneficial for me. But then again, yes, you would. Because you, when you are in a state of dissonance or seeming separation, feel alone and therefore feel in danger when you are choosing something that is unknown to you. Also, when you are in a state of separation or dissonance, you feel a seemingly negative emotion, something that is not preferable, and you choose to or want to avoid that feeling. And you associate that feeling with a specific anticipation of the seeming future or with a certain situation. So, in order to not feel that feeling anymore, in order to not be in a state of being able to be attacked by the potential dangers of the unknown, you choose against a certain thing and for another thing. And that for will always be, in that case, the state of dissonance. So you create more things that are to be avoided by you, or that you will avoid. But then again, when you are in a state of oneness and you experience something that creates within you a feeling of dissonance, simply because not all things must resonate with you, right? You do not necessarily associate that feeling with that certain situation, but rather you simply allow it, trust it, embrace it. You are pure presence, you are simply with it, just like you are with a child. Essentially, those things are nothing but your children, just like all experiences, because you are the father, the creator of all things, if you will. But regardless, that is another topic. I will get to that maybe in another video, or most likely. So, you are choosing in that state of oneness to go within. You're choosing peace instead of projecting that negative feeling onto your experiences and therefore mud them with untruth. And when you are choosing oneness, you are choosing growth, and you create more experiences that reflect back to you the state of oneness, growth, that give an opportunity to grow in a more peaceful manner. And also, you're choosing resonance, because by choosing oneness, you are choosing yourself. And we are choosing yourself, you create more that are in resonance, that is in resonance with yourself. Now, keep in mind, regardless of whether you choose the state of dissonance or the state of oneness, you still are choosing yourself because it is still existing within yourself. The idea that you are separate is just a perception. A perception that creates within you a feeling of dissonance because you believe those things are negative or that are not worthy of you or good for you. But regardless of what you create, it is always based on oneness, it is always based on resonance. But you are stuck in the perception of it being separated from you. You're stuck in the state of being of separation because you know no other way. So you're still creating resonances. You're just not aware of that. On the other hand, when you are focusing on growth, on oneness, on all that is good, holy, and beautiful, you are creating experiences that also create within you the perception of it being of resonance. Because you are aligning your conscious awareness with the truth of your being instead of with the untruth of your being. Remember, essentially, the structure of existence does not change. It is and will forever be pure being, pure oneness. Right? It will always be based on resonance, and it will always be a reflection of yourself. So regardless of what you create, it would resonate with you if you would just change your perspective to it. And again, when you're choosing when you're choosing a perspective of oneness, because you're choosing to see those things as being something positive, when you choose peace, presence, love, for everything that arises, then you create more experiences that give you exactly that perception. But when you're choosing separation out of fear or out of the need or perceived need to avoid a certain situation or a feeling that may accompany that one situation, then you're choosing for separation. You're choosing for dissonance. But that dissonance cannot be real. Otherwise you would not exist, right? Because your existence. You cannot truly choose an anti-life because you are life itself. The only thing that you could choose is the perception of it being dissonant or separated from you. So you create more perceptions that are alike. But the cool thing is, regardless of where you are, regardless of what you choose moment to moment to experience, what state you choose to abide in, it all serves the atonement. It all is still based on resonance. And it all will still, at some point, make sense to you. Granted, maybe you will have to, because you choose ignorance over growth or the desire to evolve or remember yourself, maybe you will need to experience certain cycles of seeming separation, perceptions of separation or dissonance, something that is undesirable, 1,000 times. But at some point, you will be so fed up with those things on a deep level that you simply realize the correlation between your focus, where you choose to abide in, what you choose upon, if that is right that way, regardless, I hope you get my point. The correlation of that with the experiences that you're creating for yourself or tuning into. And then you simply will make a slightly different choice. And then, because only time will tell, you will experience a different experience that is more aligned with the truth of your being. That creates within you, or that gives you the opportunity to perceive those things from the perspective of it being positive. You create experiences that resonate with you, because you, instead of reacting with the same energy of the perception of dissonance, you chose to perceive it from a perspective of oneness. And therefore you are manifesting more oneness for you. And that will be the moment you fully wake up. And remember, you will wake up many times and fall back asleep, wake up again. But those waking up times will then simply last longer every time you wake up. But regardless, you will wake up to the truth of your being, to the truth that you are the one creator of all things, that your choice matters. It does indeed matter where you place your attention on. And this is what you will realize. And then there is no need for you to experience a cycle anymore. Except if you wish, right? Because you can still choose the idea of dissonance and perceive those things, therefore, from the perspective of dissonance or separation or them being something negative. It is in your hands, literally. We're all always having the scepter in our hands, so to speak. We have the magic wand in our hands and we decide what we will experience. But because we do not see into the seeming future, because the body-mind is limited and does not see with the vision of the spirit, if you have not trained your being to do so, then it is very scary for one to choose the unknown, to see further beyond that which seems to be in the moment. But the more you actually choose to simply breathe deeply, regardless of what happens, regardless of what negative emotion or feeling you're experiencing, and simply focus on your inner, allow yourself or allow all things to arise as they will and to pass away as they will, without judging them, allowing all things, trusting all things, embracing all things. In other words, the more you understand, understand what is answer to the dissonant feelings, emotions, or situations within you with pure presence, with pure existence, with unconditional love, the more you begin to actually perceive those experiences that are in essence based on exactly that, from that perspective, through that lens. And when you are answering a certain experience, feeling, emotion, a manifestation of the state of being that you are, with oneness, peace, love, joy, presence, instead of reacting with the same energy, the more you will actually create those perceptions for you. So if it hasn't been clear already, but I think it has, regardless, it does not matter what happens, exactly as Bashar says, right? It only matters what you are doing moment to moment with what happens. Awakening full remembrance of your true self, stepping into the most authentic and highest version of yourself on earth, within this plane of existence, is about taking the steps moment to moment to moment to moment, decision by decision, for oneness instead of for dissonance. And yet again, you cannot do anything wrong. There is a longer road home, there is a shorter road home, and you decide which one you take. And both are full of golden nuggets, right? So keep that in mind. You can always decide, and you do in fact always decide. No one and no thing can decide for you, regardless of what the world may tell you. So, step into your godhood, step into your power, because you are the power, you are the way, you are everything that you're experiencing. But also keep in mind that everything that you're now experiencing within this plane of existence, through the focal point that is anchored within this body-mind, or your body-mind, is illusory form, created out of the formless love or life substance, out of the formless light that you in truth are. All right? You are not the experience. You are the observer. And the experience is an illusion. And yet, also, very important, do not invalidate any experiences. Because otherwise, as a side note, what do you do when you invalidate something? You push it away. And what is this pushing away? Dissonance. It is a rejection of the truth of your being. So, in that sense, have a good day, guys.